Students, back again to the similarity chapter, presentation 3. Previously we have learned theorems and the sums related to 1.1. Today we will be learning 3 more theorems and sums related to that theorem in practice set 1.2. Before that, we'll go through with what we have studied till yet. So we have studied the property of area of two triangles, right? When heights are equal, bases are equal, and again when heights and bases both are equal. This we have studied in previous presentation. Next we learn about theorem. This is a BPT theorem where you have studied when a triangle is been given, two lines are parallel and point you can see here point P and Q have been given here as a line form, where line L is parallel to line BC. You have to prove that AP upon PB is equal to AQ upon QC. So when I'm talking about this theorem, we have already studied sums related to this in 1.2 that we have already covered question number 4 and 10 in the previous presentation. Let me start with the sum based on converse of BPT theorem. This is question of your textbook, practice set 1.2, question number 2. We'll be learning theorem and then sums related to that theorem. So question number 2 is question I'm reading out. In triangle PQR, PM is given as 15, PQ is given as 25, PR is given as 20, NR is given as 8. State where the line NM is parallel to side RQ. They have given the ratios, you have to find whether they are parallel. You haven't, it is been told to you to find it is a parallel or not. It means it is belong to theorem converse of BPT, right? So first, when we go with this diagram, you can see values of the segments are given. When I'm talking about whole PR, right? Whole PR is been given to you, this one, and PN you have to find, out of which NR is given as 8. So whole is 20 and R is 8. So what will be your PN? Right, 20 minus 8 will give you 12. So your PN is 12. The same way we will find with all the values of PQ. So when I'm talking about PQ again, PQ whole is given me as 25. PM is given as 15. So what will be your MQ? Right, it will be 25 minus 15, that gives you 10. Now when I'm talking about, let me write in a ratio. So first I'm taking the left hand side, that is PN upon NR. The values are 12 upon 8, that gives me answer as 3 upon 2. Same thing I will start with the right hand side, PM. That is PM upon MQ is equal to 15 upon 20. Final answer is 3 upon 2. When you talk about equation 1 and 2, here you can see 3 upon 2, 3 upon 2. Both are equal. So by this I can say as the ratios are equal, the line is parallel. Therefore, at last I will highlight my answer and I will write because of converse of BPT. Understood? So students, now let me begin with the second theorem, angle bisector of a triangle. Theorem, property of angle bisector of a triangle. So let me have a look. Property of an angle bisector of a triangle. Theorem states the bisector of an angle of a triangle divides the side opposite angle in the ratio of remaining sides. Here it's very important to understand the statement angle of a triangle and ratio in remaining sides. So what is given to you? A triangle ABC where C intersects segment AB at the point E. You can see point C intersecting at point E to the opposite side, right? Now what you have to prove here, AE upon EB is equal to AC upon CB. Now when I am talking about this, what is given to you? Angle ACE is equal to BCE as it's an angle bisector, right? So let me construct one line from point B, naming it at D. So it will be a ray parallel to CE. Again we will draw one more line, extend line AC such a way that it touches the point D. Right? Now you can see here two lines are parallel. Which are they? Yes, CE and line DB. Now when I am talking about this, when two lines are parallel, we will be putting angles. So here with these two parallel lines, I can see corresponding angles. Again, when I am taking BC as in transversal, I can see N, that is an alternate angle, right? Yes, you can see it's highlighted. So when I'm talking about this two property, one more thing is also given to you, that is angle ACE is equal to ECB, right? That is both are congruent given to you. So because of all three conditions, I can see angle CBD is also congruent to angle CDP, right? Now let me take a triangle. When I am talking about this triangle, it is forming an isosceles triangle with two angles congruent. When two angles are congruent, their sides are also congruent, right? Right, that is CB is congruent to side CD. Now I will put this equation 4. Now let me take a bigger triangle ABD. When I am taking a bigger triangle, again two parallel lines are constructed, right? With this I can remember BPD theorem. So when I am talking about BPD theorem, it will be AE upon BE is equal to AC upon CD. But in equation 4 we have given CD is equal to CD, right? So instead of CD, I can write BC. Hence we have to prove. So we have proved AE upon BE is equal to AC upon BC. So let me begin with the sums related to angle bisector of a triangle. So when I am talking about this question, you have question number 1 with these three diagrams. Given below are some triangles and length of the line segment. Identify in which figure ray, the word is given as ray, PM is the bisector of angle QPR. Students, you have to solve each and every sum in your notebook. Okay, so when I am talking about this diagram, this is given as ray PM. In each question you can see naming is same PQR, 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 right? So you have to identify by angle bisector whether which of the triangle, that is ray PM, is the bisector of which angle. Okay, so when I am talking about this, you have the answers over the right hand side. Just go through with the answers. I am solving one of it. QMP. So first one, I will take in triangle QMP, I will say QM, that is 3.5 upon QP, that is 7. That gives me 1 upon 2. Again I will take same triangle other part, that is triangle MRP, right, which has a value MR upon RP as 1.5 upon 3. Both the ratios, if I say, it's 1 upon 2, right? So can I say first one and the second one both have the answer as 1 upon 2, 1 upon 2? Are they equal? Yes. As their values are equal, their ratios are equal. Therefore, by converse of angle bisector theorem, I can say yes, ray PM is the bisector of angle QPR. When you go with the second sum, you can see the triangle PQR. Again in this triangle, you can see the answer is given to you. First one, the ratio is 4 upon 5 and second one is 6 upon 7. Are the ratios equal? No. So again I will say this ratio, the values are not equal, so ratios are not equal. Therefore ray PM is not the bisector of angle QPR. Understood how you have to identify? Very good. Again go with the third one, QMP. We'll take one triangle and another triangle is MRP. Again you can see 2 upon 5 and 2 upon 5. Right, I am talking about the third question. 2 upon 5 upon 2 upon 5. The values are equal. So yes. What? Yes. By converse of angle bisector theorem, ray PM is a bisector of angle QPR. Now statement consists marks. You think while writing only that 2 lines that the ratios are equal, I will complete the answer? No. Final answer consists mark that you have to say whether this diagram is a bisector or not. Okay. Now let me move on to the next question. Question number 3 of your textbook, practice set 1.2. Again this question is related to angle bisector theorem. Just let me go with the question. In triangle MNP, NQ is a bisector of angle N. If MN is equal to 5, PN is equal to 7, MQ is 2.5, find QP. I hope you can see the diagram very easily, right? And figures are given in your diagram itself. So here when I am talking about, I will be taking the same way which we have done for the first question. I will take a triangle in triangle PNM. By angle bisector theorem, I hope you remember the theorem. You will write QM upon QP is equal to MN upon PN. Now don't get confused how to take the ratio. You can take a ratio from the vertex, say point N. From point N you can go to NM also, upon PN is equal to MQ upon QP. This is also right. Okay, no need to worry. Now when writing the ratio, you must be very particular which numbers you have to write where. When you are writing QM, you have to write the value of QM only. So you be very particular. So QM is 2.5 upon QP is equal to 5 upon 7. Cross multiply, you will see QP is equal to 2.5 into 7 upon 5. That will give you answer 3.5. Here you have to find the value of QP. So you have to highlight the answer and you have to write the final statement. Same thing will go with the next question, question number 8. Now when I'm talking about question number 8, again it consists of angle bisector theorem. I would like to say you that just go through with the question. Both the questions are similar, right? Only units are different. So in triangle LNM, I'll write by angle bisector theorem, LT upon NT is equal to LN upon NM. Write the ratio very carefully. So write the values. LT upon 8 is equal to 6 upon 10. Cross multiply. So LT will be 8 into 6 upon 10 is equal to 4.8. Hence the measure of LT is 4.8. Now let me move to the next question. Question number 9. I have taken this sum purposely because this sum is little different. You can see the values given are in binomial form. X, x minus 2, x plus 2, x plus 5. So let me go through with the question. Here again it is given as in triangle ABC, segment BD bisects angle ABC. So again when it is a bisect, it means angle ABD is equal to angle DBC. Both angles are equal. Therefore by angle bisector theorem, AD upon DC is equal to AB upon CB. This is common which you are solving till yet. When I am writing the values, you can see x minus 2 upon x plus 2 equal to x upon x plus 5. Now cross multiply it. Keep one bracket open and one bracket closed. So you will get x minus 2 multiplied by x plus 5 is equal to x into x plus 2. So when I am multiplying, my left hand side will be x square plus 3x minus 10 equal to x square plus 2x. Bring the like term together. That is 3x minus 2x equal to 10. So 3 minus 2 is 1. That is x equal to 10. So you got the value of x equal to 10. They have told you to find only the value of x. They have not told you to find the value of AD, DC. If they have told you to find the value of AD, so your value will be 10. If I am talking about AD, so value will be 10 minus 2. If it is DC, it will be 10 plus 2. And what will be your BC? Right, 10 plus 5. Okay, so here no need to solve that thing because they have told only to find the value of x. Students, let me start with another question. Question number 11 of your textbook, that is practice set 1.2. So when I'm talking about this triangle is little different. This sum is little different from the other questions. Triangle ABC is given where BD, you can see BD. Yes, BD bisect angle ABC and ray CE bisect angle ACB. If segment AB, you can see AB is congruent to segment AC, then prove that two lines are parallel. So when two lines are parallel, what comes to your mind? Right? Guess. Right. Converse of BPT, right? And when I'm talking about to prove by converse of BPT, I require segment to be in proportion, right? To prove that segment to be in proportion, I will use angle bisector theorem. Why I'm using angle bisector theorem here? Right, because angles are given. Ray is given that ray is bisected. Right, so you will be using two theorems here. First you will be using by angle bisector theorem and second you will be using converse of BPT theorem. Okay, so I hope I am clear. Once you understand what you have to use here, how to prove that sum, it's very easy. So let me begin. In triangle ABC, I will say when BD is being given as in BD is a bisector. So here when I am taking BD, I will say angle ABD is equal to DBC. As they both are equal, angles are equal, I will write in proportion, that is AD upon DC is equal to AB upon BC. First condition by angle bisector theorem. Again I will take in triangle ABC. Now what I will take? Ray CE as in bisector. So when I am taking ray CE as in bisector, I will use angle BCE is equal to angle ACE. Second equation, I will take AE upon EB is equal to AC upon BC. Equation 2, the angle bisector theorem. So when I am talking about this two equation, can you say what will be my third one? Yes, I will say my third, that is from 1 and 2 I will say as AB is congruent to AC. Instead of AB can I write AC? Instead of AC I can write AB. So from 1 and 2 I will get AD upon DC is equal to AE upon EB, that is both the left hand side of both the equation. So when they both are in proportionate, you can see in the diagram where is AD, where is DC, right? AE and EB. So you can see they are all in proportion. So by converse of BPT, I will say the lines are parallel. I hope you understood this question. Now let me start with property of three parallel lines and their transversal. So let me move to the next property of three parallel lines and their transversal. Right, you can see three lines and which are the transversal, T1 and T2. So when I am talking about transversal, you can see transversal and lines are meeting at a point LMN and your XYZ. So what you have to prove here? You have to prove LM upon MN is equal to XY upon YZ. So for this we will construct one line. Join XN intersect MY at O. Right? So when I'm talking about two different triangles, what comes in your mind? Triangles parallel line ratio. Again when I'm talking about ratio, which theorem comes in your mind? Yes, I think you are right. Yes. If you are thinking BPT, then you are right. You can think of BPT when two parallel lines are given to you and triangles is given to you. So I will consider one triangle first, LNX, where MO is parallel to LX. So I will write BPT theorem, equation 1. Same thing I will take with another triangle, that is triangle NXZ, where OY is parallel to NZ. That's why I can say XO upon ON is equal to XY upon YZ. Equation 2, again BPT theorem. So what you can conclude from equation 1 and 2? That all three are equal, therefore the common will be removed. LM upon MN is equal to XY upon YZ, hence proved. So this theorem, you can see the lines, ratio of intercept made on a transversal by three parallel lines is equal to the ratio of corresponding intersects made on another transversal by the same line. So let me begin with the sum. Question number 7 of your textbook 1.2. There is one sum related to three parallel lines. and their transversal, the sum is very easy. So let me have a look what is given in the question. In the figure, AB parallel to CD parallel to FE, then find the value of X and AE. Where is AE? You will finding A is a bigger one, bigger segment. So here for that we will join AF intersecting CD at X. This is a capital X. Okay. So let me take two triangles now. In triangle ABF, can you see ABF? Right. I will say DX is parallel to AB. Therefore, by BPT theorem, I will write FD upon DB is equal to Fx upon XA. Equation 1 and by BPT theorem. Same thing I will do with the second one. In triangle AEF, XC is parallel to FE. When I am reading out, you have to see the diagram. It will be very easy for you to answer it. So when I am saying XC is parallel to FE, see the diagram. You can write the ratios. Fx upon Xa is equal to Fec upon Ca. Equation 2 by BPT theorem. Now from 1 and 2 I can say Fd upon Db is equal to Ec upon Ca. You can see Fx upon Xa is common in both the equation. That's for Fx upon Xa is being cancelled. So what ratios you get? 4 upon 8 is equal to x upon 12, right? Cross multiplied as it is an equal to sign. 4 into 12 is equal to x into 8. Finally you will get x equal to 6. Now x is 6. One condition is being fulfilled. You have to find AE. See the question properly. Many times it happens you just find x and keep it as it is. You don't read out the question that AE is also been asked to you. So AE is nothing but AC plus CE. So 12 plus 6 will give you 18. Highlight your answers wherever you are writing the final one. So here write the final answer. AE is equal to 18. X equal to 6. Highlight it with the box. I am repeating it again and again. So students, today we have completed 3 theorems and exercise 1.2. Okay. So now when I am talking about theorems and exercise, I hope you have understood all these sums. Before starting with homework questions, you have to write all the theorems given in this presentation as well as in the previous presentation, that is BPT theorem and converse of BPT, what was being explained in your previous presentation, plus all the sums of the exercise given in this presentation. I have covered all the sums of exercise 1.2. Okay, when you are solving theorems and exercise, you have to be very clear with the instructions. That is, you have to write the questions, you have to draw the diagram, you have to write the equations properly, you have to write the brackets, and finally you have to highlight the answers. Okay, I hope I am very clear how to write the answers. Now when I am talking about homework questions, here I have given you 2 homework questions, that is question number 5 and question number 6 of your textbook, that is exercise 1.2. Question number 5 and question number 6 I will just give a hint how to solve it. So here in trapezium ABCD, AB is parallel to PQ and PQ is parallel to DC. AP value is given, PD is given, QC is given, and you have to find the fourth side, that is PQ. Now I am talking about these 3 parallel lines are given. What comes to your mind? Yes, which theorem? Theorem of 3 parallel lines. So here you have state the theorem, write the answers in the ratio form AP upon PD, PQ upon QC, cross multiply it and write the final answer. Next we come to the question number 6. Triangle MNP is given to you. You have to find the value of QP. Okay. So here QP, how to find when angle N, when I'm talking about, you can see angle N is having a two angles here. Two angles are equal, that is angle M and Q is equal to Q and P. When two angles are equal, I can use angle bisector theorem and here take the ratios very properly and then cross multiply it and get the final answer. Be very particular while writing the ratio, that is when you are writing it wrong, the answer will be completely wrong. Okay, I hope you will be able to solve these sums very easily. Thank you, students.